a morning roasting of the occupiers in Crimea, an ammunition depot, and not one but two brigades of the Russian elite. Shells are detonating, panic is rising. The fire season in Crimea is open. All this coming up next. Watch until the end. Hello, this is Ukraine Today. I'm Darina Hatskalo, and here are the latest events. Russians in occupied Crimea haven't slept since last night. Explosions were literally tearing the peninsula apart.
Eyewitnesses reported that around 5 in the morning, at least 5 explosions were heard over Yalta.
According to local residents, they saw bright flashes in the sky and heard a loud rumble. The powerful explosions made windows shake in several other cities as well.
In the Alupka area, 3 powerful explosions were heard over the sea not far from the shore at 5:40, 5:45, and 5:52.
There was unrest in Kharkiv, Alushta, Bakhchisari, and Sevastopol as well. Once again, critically important Putin military facilities came under attack.
Explosions in Sevastopol are being heard in the areas of the Belbek and Kacha airfields. They are under attack again.
At the same time, the so-called governor of Sevastopol, Mikhail Razvozhayev, insisted that the situation was under control. All targets are being shot down.
The loud noises heard in the city are the work of our military. According to preliminary information, 6 UAVs were destroyed in the air over the sea, far from the shore.
Nevertheless, unidentified drones still managed to hit their target in Perevalny. It is known that the 126th Separate Coastal Defense Brigade of the Russian Black Sea Fleet is stationed there. Partisans eventually confirmed information about a strike on Putin's mercenaries. According to Atesh, soldiers from the 8th Separate Artillery Regiment were also present at the site of the strike.
Atesh agents are recording strikes on Russian military facilities in Crimea. There is information about military personnel who were killed while on duty at the warehouse.
Local residents themselves reported that after the loud explosions, an ammunition depot caught fire. Shells are detonating and flying into the air. As noted by Crimea, realities, the base housed storage boxes for military equipment and weapons, as well as likely fuel and lubricants. Due to the fire, the occupation authorities were forced to block the road from Alushta to Sevastopol.
Traffic is restricted on the section from the village of Lozov in the Simferopol district towards Alushta.
Of course, the Russian Ministry of Defense did not provide any official information about the damage to military facilities. Instead, they reported the successful downing of all drones.
On May 16th, air defense systems destroyed and intercepted 65 Ukrainian fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles. 43 were over the Black Sea and 21 over the territory of the Republic of Crimea.
Apparently, the Panzer system performed successfully. Meanwhile, local residents are collecting up missile debris.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism, and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
Ukraine continues to put military pressure on the occupiers in Crimea. Recently, our naval drone shot down a Russian Su-30 fighter jet over the Black Sea. The enemy definitely wasn't prepared for that. A truly historic strike. The defense of the peninsula has collapsed. What details of the successful special operation have become known, and what other surprises await the enemy? We'll tell you about it in just a moment.
No one has ever done anything like this to them before. For the first time in history, Ukraine shot down a military aircraft with a naval drone. Our defense intelligence of Ukraine confirmed the destruction and, as proof, published this video.
And by the way, this is not the first time enemy aircraft has been destroyed. But before this, it was helicopters.
After a day, some details also began to emerge. In particular, the head of the main intelligence directorate, Kyrilo Budanov, clarified in an interview with the War Zone that 3 unmanned Magura V-7 boats took part in the attack, 2 of which fired at the aircraft. At the same time, 2 Russian Su-30 SM attack aircraft were destroyed. One of the crews was killed while the other managed to eject. The Russians immediately sent a civilian vessel after him, hoping that Ukraine would not violate the rules of war and would not open fire on civilians.
Despite the fact that the Ukrainians had plenty of opportunities to destroy the civilian cargo ship along with the Russian military crew, they did not take advantage of them. They watched as the crew was being evacuated. They circled around the crew who were floundering in the water. Nevertheless, they did not fire a single shot at either the cargo ship or the crew.
It also seems that the situation regarding which missiles the Ukrainian Magura drones used to fire has become clearer. In particular, a photo has appeared online showing a naval drone equipped with an American AIM-9 air-to-air missile. Earlier versions of these drones were armed with Soviet R-73 missiles.
This is what makes it unique. Indeed, the fact that this is now a remote-controlled surface system, it remote-controlled, which is very important, managed to shoot down a manned object. And if we talk about the cost, for example, the Magura costs around $250,000 to $300,000, while the Russian Su-30 costs $40 to $50 million. So you can compare or estimate how many times cheaper the means of destruction is compared to the much more expensive target it destroys.
At the same time, analysts point out that it's not even about the money, although the Kremlin is increasingly having problems with that as well. The main issue is technology and production capacity, which in Russia have either been lost or are in severe shortage due to Western sanctions.
Every Su-30SM aircraft is worth its weight in gold. The issue lies with the components. It's difficult to obtain them by passing the sanctions. Moreover, as far as I know, Su-30SMs are either not being produced at all, or production is practically non-existent.
In addition to, in the obvious results, of destroying Russian aircraft, this attack brought another advantage to the Ukrainian armed forces. The enemy can't be said to be completely demoralized now, but they are definitely frightened. Having lost 2 comrades, and most likely hearing about 2 more who were unexpectedly fished out of the Black Sea, one can only imagine what kind of mood they will now have when flying missions over the Black Sea area.
The crews of Russian aircraft flying over the Black Sea understand that they no longer have any real safety. Even if they don't see us there, even if they're targeting, radars don't pick up our weapons, that doesn't mean those weapons aren't there. And these weapons, these particular types of weapons, have actually locked their aircraft in their sights.
By the way, it's not any easier for the pilot's command either, because even if the radars detect Ukrainian Magura drones, that no longer automatically means the aviation will be ordered to take off. Because now, the leadership of the Russian Air Force understands all too well that it's far from certain the on-duty pilots will get away unscathed.
Every time the Ukrainians launch an operation in the Black Sea, Russia faces a very tough choice about what to lose: oil and gas platforms, or say, some other installations in the Black Sea, or for example, their assets in Crimea, because these unmanned boats can also carry drones. In other words, they're like mini aircraft carriers. Or maybe they'll have to lose another helicopter or a Su-30SM.
How do you assess the successful attacks by Ukrainian forces on military targets in Crimea? Share your opinion in the comments. Hit the like button under the video and stay up to date with the main news. There are almost 420,000 of us subscribers, and the number keeps growing. See you next time.